This channel is Kaylin, K-A-Y for short, and this is my video. Okay, so guys, we're gonna be reacting to kids who killed their families. That's crazy if you ask me, low-key. Okay, don't mind that on the side, guys. We're starting off with the basics. Okay, so let's get into the video.
The narration in this video was created with a text-to-speech program, and edited to make it as natural sounding as possible. I understand that some people do not like this, but it was done for numerous reasons. I have uploaded the script to YouTube, so please turn on the subtitles if you wish to mute the audio. Thank you. In Bellevue, Idaho, 16-year-old Sarah Johnson lived a privileged life, with her parents always giving her everything she could ever need or want.
I'm not gonna laugh because it's messed up, but you could tell that she would do it, right? You just look at the appearance. Anyways, I'm not trying to be rude, guys. Don't do something. Oh my god, I can't speak. Don't demonetize me, guys. I'm just joking.
Everything except their blessing for her relationship with her boyfriend, 19-year-old Bruno Santos. They forbid her from making contact with him, and as a result, her relationship with her parents soon became volatile. Sarah's parents found out that she had been lying to them, saying she was staying over at a friend's house, but was actually sleeping over at Santos's apartment. One evening, Alan Johnson followed his daughter to Santos's home, and demanded she go back home with him. Alan then told Santos that if he caught him with his daughter again, then he would go to the police and report him for having sex with an underage girl. Alan never went to the police, and days later, he and his wife were dead. On the morning of September 2, 2003, Sarah broke into the guest house, which was on their property, which was unoccupied, as the tenant was away on business. In there, she located the gun she knew was stored in a closet, a high-powered Winchester Model 70 bolt-action rifle.
Why did your parents just have this in the closet? Why do they just have this in the closet? Is this their house, right? I don't know. But why do they just have... Okay, buddy. Interesting.
She stole the gun and ammunition, entered her parents' room, and shot her sleeping mother in the face, killing her. She calmly reloaded, entered the bathroom, found her father in the shower, and shot him through the heart.
I know I keep pausing the video, but in the shower, bro? You gonna harm someone who's taking a shower? You gotta be the Lulu in the head, bro. Cause why are you doing that, bro? That makes no sense. In the shower is outrageous, bro. R.I.P., bro. That's the worst way to go out. In the shower, bro. And we're not gonna finish this whole video, by the way. But yeah, let's continue, bro.
Police officers found the bodies of Diane and Alan Johnson after following up a call from a worried relative. It was immediately clear that Sarah was the shooter, and she was quickly arrested and charged. Although Sarah vehemently denied any wrongdoing, officers were able to find latex gloves and a bathrobe discarded in an outdoor trash can, which contained the DNA of Sarah and both victims. They also found a leather glove which contained Sarah Johnson's DNA and gunshot residue. As Sarah Johnson has always denied committing the murders, no motive could ever be found. Investigators believe Sarah murdered her parents so she could continue her relationship with her boyfriend. Sarah's relatives strongly deny that she could have had anything to do with the shooting, and have continued to campaign for her release. On March 16, 2005, Sarah's case went to trial, and she was found guilty on 2 counts of first-degree murder, receiving 2 life terms without parole, plus 15 years. In 2012, Sarah's new lawyer filed for a new trial, claiming her previous legal counsel were ineffective and unprepared for such a big case. In October 2014, the request for a new trial was denied. By age 12, Christopher Pittman had run away from home several times, and as a result, spent several weeks at a facility for runaway children. Whilst there, he was put on the drug Paxil to treat mild depression and was sent to live with his grandparents, Joe and Joy, in Chester, South Carolina.
By the way, the Get Ready With Me will be uploaded next week, I think. Maybe. But we'll have to see, guys. Let's continue.
Grandparents were strict, but they gave him the stable life that he craved, and Christopher soon showed signs of improvement. However, his new doctor in Chester was unable to prescribe Christopher the drug Paxil, so instead, issued the drug Zoloft. Although both drugs are similar, it is strongly advised to never mix the two drugs together, as it can result in hallucinations, aggression, and delusions. Immediately after taking the new drug, everyone noticed a change in Christopher, who became erratic and jumpy, with his sister describing him as manic. Christopher also complained that he felt like his whole body was burning from the inside. After hearing of the worrying side effects, his doctor did not stop the new medication, but instead, doubled the dosage. On November 28, 2001, Christopher got into an argument with a classmate, which ended with him attempting to choke the other boy. That afternoon, after collecting his suspended grandson from school, Joe...
If you're having an argument with your classmate, you wouldn't want to decide to choke them. Unless it's like a really heated argument, but you would not be like, oh, I'm going to strangle. No.
Pittman, believing that Christopher needed stronger punishment, spanked him hard with a wooden paddle, and sent him to bed early. Later that night, Christopher quietly left his room, and took his grandfather's shotgun from the wooden gun rack in the living room. He then calmly walked into his...
Why does everybody's family have, like, a giant shotgun? This is not Fortnite, bro. And why do they have it stored in the most obvious places? Like, you want something to happen. But R.I.P., bro. R.I.P.
grandparents' bedroom, and shot down at them several times. The first 2 shots killed them instantly, but he fired several more shots into their dead bodies. Before driving away in his grandparents' car, he poured petrol throughout the house, and set it ablaze. Later that night, Christopher was pulled over by a police officer after being caught driving dangerously. When asked why he was out driving alone, Christopher spun a story about a large black man, who had murdered his grandparents and then taken him hostage. After further questioning, it became clear that his story was a lie, and he was soon confessing to the murders. He told officers that his grandparents were killed, because they had deserved to die. Christopher Pittman's trial was not centered on proving his guilt, as he had already confessed. Instead, it was to determine whether his medication had caused him to commit murder. When Christopher's father took the stand, he claimed it was evident that the increased dosage of Zoloft was the reason his son was a murderer, seeing how it happened just days afterwards. He believed his son, although troubled, never expressed anger or hate for anyone, and that the only reasonable explanation for this horrific event was because of the medication. Despite evidence pointing in favor of the medication theory, Christopher was found guilty of 2 counts of first-degree murder, and sentenced to a minimum of 30 years imprisonment. However, Christopher's new legal team filed numerous complaints, stating that the previous trial was unfair, and that the jury were biased and unwilling to listen to any evidence that was in favor of the accused. They also dismantled his former counsel, calling them inadequate and unprepared for a case of this magnitude. The complaints were noted, and Christopher was granted a new trial. Instead of facing a whole new trial, Christopher agreed to the lesser charge of voluntary manslaughter, and received a 25-year term. It is believed that his release date will be 22nd of February, 2023.
Why is bro so tall? Like, what?
In February 1988,
Bro, why does he have a wig on? Why does this man have a wig on, bro? that can't be his hair. I'm like, bro, this man got a wig on. This not even his hair. I can't stand to believe that's his hair, bro.
16-year-old Rochester, Minnesota resident David Braum murdered his parents and 2 siblings in cold blood. Arguments in the Braum household were not uncommon, but on the 17th of February 1988, David and his father Bernard had a particularly heated confrontation. After they screamed back and forth at each other, David quickly became physical, trying to attack his father. Bernard, not wanting to hurt his son, backed off and went up to bed, trying to give his son time to cool off. He had hoped that by leaving the conflict, the situation was dealt with, or at least, forgotten. However, in reality, the situation was far from forgotten. David spent that evening secretly cursing his father, and boiled with rage and frustration. After several hours, David entered the basement.
But I don't understand. Well, I do understand why people, son argue with their parents, daughter argue with their parents. But, like, you ain't gotta take it out like that, bro. And then you gotta take it out on your siblings, too. What did your siblings do, bro? What did they do? Nothing? Okay, then. There was no point in you doing that to them. This is making me mad. This is not even my situation, bro. Those kids has lives, bro.
Basement of his home, and retrieved the axe that was stored there for cutting wood. He then went to his parents' bedroom and attacked his father. He quickly subdued Bernard with several hard strikes to his head and chest.
Alright.
As his...
I know I keep pausing it, but just imagine you give birth to a child, right? And you're like, oh, we're gonna be a happy family because I always wanted kids, right? And then a couple years later, your child turns around and ends everything, and it's like, I gave birth to you. How dare you do this to me? This makes no sense, bro.
His father lay dying. He turned to his mother and attacked her too. His mother, Paulette, sustained catastrophic damage to her head, and she and her husband died within minutes. Walking in somewhat of a haze, David left the bodies of his parents and walked to his bedroom. After several minutes, he heard a commotion upstairs.
Why is his eyes lopsided? One's going like this. One's going like this. Unless this is how his eyeballs are. Like, his eyes are smaller than the other. You should know what I mean.
And upon entering his parents' room, he found his 13-year-old sister, Diane, and his 11-year-old brother, Richard, standing by the blood-splattered bed. Without warning, David began to swing the axe again, and made quick work of murdering his siblings. The following day, whilst hanging out with friends, David began making boasts, telling his friends that he had murdered his family. They all sat and listened to the gruesome details, but believed them to be a fabrication, as David was known to often make things up for attention. However, one of his friends believed it enough to telephone authorities, and reported what he had been told. Police officers were sent to the Braum household, where they found the 4 bodies. David Braum was quickly arrested and charged with murder. Although David was 16 at the time of the murders, due to the severity of the crimes, he was charged as an adult. At trial, his defense pleaded insanity, but the prosecution were able to show premeditation before the act, and drew attention to his unrepentant attitude and cold demeanor after slaying his family. David was found guilty and convicted of first-degree murder, and ordered to serve at least 52 years in prison. He is currently serving his sentence at the Minnesota Correctional Facility in Stillwater.
Good riddance, bro. Hey, don't come for me, guys. Okay, this is
On the 3rd of October, 2000.
This is the last one we're gonna watch. And we might watch another one, but this is probably gonna be the last one I watch, just so the video is not that long, and especially when I edit it. So, yeah.
In 12, a 911 operator received a call from 17-year-old Jake Evans. Speaking in a soft, absent voice, he calmly explains that he had just murdered his mother and 15-year-old sister. Jake Evans was never known to have suffered from any mental ill health before the killings, but something in him snapped that day. In his written confession, Evans states that after he shot his mother and sister, he ran into his bedroom and started to scream. It was then that he heard his sister groaning from the other room, and realized that she was still alive. Evans wrote,
What you mean by that? What you mean by that? Oh, wait. Let me not do that. Wait. Did he say he shot her before he ran into the room? Hold on, let me go back, bro. Because I don't want to make no jokes if that's what happened, bro.
Murdered his mother and 15-year-old sister. Jake Evans was never known to have suffered from any mental ill health before the killings, but something in him snapped that day. In his written confession, Evans states that after he shot his mother and sister, he ran into his bedroom and started to scream. It was then that he heard his sister groaning from the other room, and realized that she was still alive. Evans wrote, "While I loaded the gun back up, I was shouting that I was sorry, and then ran as fast as I could to kill her. I made sure my mom was dead, and shot her again in the head." The bodies of Jamie Evans, and her 15-year-old daughter Mallory, were found at their home at River Creek Lane, Annetta, South Texas. Jake Evans was waiting for police inside and he was arrested without incident. After his arrest, Jake did not offer any clear motive for the killing, only that he had watched the 2007 Rob Zombie film, Halloween, several times before he shot and killed his family members. In his confession,
You're doing this because you saw a movie? You did it because you saw a Halloween horror movie. What? Let's be so for real. Why are you doing this? Because you saw a movie and be like, oh, it's my time to shine. I want to do this too. You know, they did that one thing in the scene. I want to do it too. Why are you doing it because of a movie? People be so dumb nowadays, bro. I swear.
When talking about the film, he said, "While watching it, I was amazed at how at ease the boy was during the murders, and how little remorse he had afterward. I was thinking to myself, it would be the same for me when I kill someone." Evans would later tell investigators that his mother and sister were not the only people he had planned on killing. He said he wanted to murder his grandparents and older sister, but luckily...
And then you wanted to go after your grandparents? Oh my god. Bro, you're bugging. And then you wanted to go after your grandparents, bro. Oh my god. Good thing your other sister was not in that building, bro. Because I promise you, ooh, bro. Give this man life sentence, bro.
He was unable to reach them. During his interrogation, and after officers consulted several psychiatric professionals, it was ruled that Jake was incompetent to stand trial, and was ordered to stay at a psychiatric hospital to undergo a series of evaluations and treatments. After spending almost 3 years in hospital, medical professionals filed a final evaluation report, which stated that Jake Evans had finally been restored to competency, and was now fit to stand trial. After making a plea deal with the prosecution, Evans pled guilty to the 2 murders, and was sentenced to 45 years in prison. He was ordered to serve at least...
Don't give him 45 years. Give him life. This man decided he wanted to go after his grandparents after. Don't give this man life. What? You know, 45 years is so bad, but like, give this man life, bro.
half of his sentence, before being considered for parole.
Alright. Well, that was the end of the video. Well, not the video I was watching, but that's the end of my video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Follow my Instagram. Follow my TikTok. And let me know what else you want me to react to, and I'll post it. Hopefully. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, like, comment, and subscribe. You know I said that already. But, yeah. Have a good rest of your day. Bye.
So if you don't know by now, then you should probably get familiar.